I consider myself a photographer. I'm not a street photographer or anything particular. I'm a photographer who just enjoys the medium and does everything I can do with it. My name is Stephen Vanasco. I am a Los Angeles-based photographer. I've been doing photography for over 20 years. I came across an opportunity in my early 20s to have a job that allowed me the ability to do photography as part of my work. Starting out with it as a work thing turned into a personal thing where I would take my camera with me when I traveled, go skating with friends, just everywhere that I was going in life, bringing it, making photographs. It triggered this same passion that I felt for skateboarding when I was 12 or 13 years old. Recognizing this and seeing a second passion, I caught that and I wanted to give as much attention as I could to it. It led me to just at one point saying I want to see what happens if I follow photography. This has been a 3-year project coming up here to Santa Barbara, making photographs. It's a project that started out of trying to understand, I guess, myself in life, and photography brings me a lot of happiness, so the more I can do it, the happier that I am. The connection to it really is my daughter and me wanting to see her and wanting to be with her and pick her up. I don't think I would have ever discovered making photos up here had it not been for her, so she's a pivotal role. Santa Barbara seems to be a place that I feel hasn't fully been explored photographically. The stuff that I have seen is what you might expect. A very vibrant, saturated, colorful sunsets on the beach, and they all look beautiful, but I think there's something about stripping the colorfulness that this place can have and just purely documenting, making photographs in a way that I feel resonates to me, how I see things and how I feel things when I'm up here. It's been a really fun experience to continue to build more and more pictures over the years and as time goes on.
Yeah, I come almost every day, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I come up here every weekend just about, so.
Today giovedì, tomorrow Friday. Friday tomorrow.
Rainy day tomorrow?
Tomorrow Friday.
Oh, Friday, yeah.
Saturday, you know.
I'll see you back at your office another time.
Va bene, arrivederci.
The times that I come up here, you know, a lot of it can be tourist, but meeting that gentleman was great because he's a local and he's lived up here for a long time. That's a big thing for me, is to be able to interact and engage with the locals and talk to them and hear their stories. My creative process and workflow, if I had to break it down into steps or in a form or order, I think the first thing is really just making a photograph of whatever inspires you wherever you're at. Sometimes we have to do that, and then that first few photos of what we saw, if it translates correctly, then that can spark us down a whole path of following something, which I think is inspiration. I don't have a very military type mindset or goal where I'm going out here and I'm executing these photographs and it's gonna be like this. It could be me walking or just stumbling across something, make the photograph. A definite part of the creative process is looking at your pictures consecutively with time involved. So when I come to the icon after dropping my rolls off, then I immediately go over to the light table, unroll them, and just start looking for frames, recalling in my mind, this is how I envisioned the shot when I made it. Did it come out? You know, so already that second step, I'm right back into looking at it. Then I'll scan it in. If it's a photograph that I feel something towards, I'll print it out and sit with it and have time with it. And if I'm immediately excited or sparked by what I was able to photograph, then I get curious and I want to go back and revisit, if it's a place, a thing, person, and just explore it more and more and more. And then the process of creating a body of work, I feel, is, again, to keep looking at your photos as time goes on, months, years later. You might have missed a shot that at that moment didn't intrigue you, but years later, as your eyes evolve and your eyes change and how you see things, now that photograph might be really cool and really interesting. Because to me, a body of work really explains what you're doing. And it's also like a fun giant puzzle. Art, photography, a lot of times can be feeling. A lot of times when we put the camera to our face to make that photograph, it's off instinct, it's off reaction, it's off emotion. And I think you have to be in tune with that in your creative process first and foremost. For anyone out there who'd like to see more of my work or find out more about me, you can go to my website, stephenvanasco.com. That's the same name for all of my social media handles on Threads, Instagram, Tumblr, X, all the above. It's all the same. And then as far as purchasing my work, I do offer limited edition prints through my website, as well as select pieces through the Leica Gallery, Los Angeles. I grew up skateboarding. A lot of the skateboarders who I looked up to at the time can skate everything. I think that had an influence on when I got into photography. Was I love the medium as a whole. I'm fascinated by everything. I want to try everything. Why would one just make your viewpoint the size of a dime when it could be, the size of a hot air balloon if you want it to be?